So what's up, people, and welcome to Car Mechanics Simulator 2018 Chevy Delray series. So we're still in the Chevy Delray series still. I mean, we only had one video with regards to this, so I figure we continue on with this in this particular video. So I've been doing a little bit of service work on other cars offline. I've gotten a little bit more skills as well as money, and so we figure we could start working on the Delray again. Now, if you recall, in the last episode we did a little bit of work on the engine, and I figured that we could continue on with that. And just to give you an idea, we're now at level 12, and though part of the engine bay or the garage can be expanded, what I wanted to do was improve my fixing skills, so repair skills of parts. So that's what I did, and I figure when I get to level 13 I'll expand the garage. That's right, I can't start the engine, which means that I have to take it to the service bay here and figure out what else I need to do before I could take it into the test track over there. In any case, I don't really know if the testing is going to be necessary, because I got a feeling I'm going to be swapping out as many parts as possible. With regards to this car, now as you can see, there's like all these brand new items in the top of the car, but not in the engine itself. The engine is still a big bolt rust bucket. And so what I figure I will do is, oh, look at that. Somewhere along the way I got another barn map, so I guess one of these days I could put it into the memory. But right now I want to continue working on the car. I took away the fan belt and a few other things, and I figure I'd start working on the front of the engine, which means all this timing stuff and cooling stuff and alternator stuff and stuff. Yeah, I figure I would just start removing stuff, because unlike a real mechanical car restoration, here you could just kind of mindlessly remove a lot of stuff without too much of a consequence. And so for me, I guess since I'm not particularly knowledgeable in mechanics, I might as well just keep on removing everything. So whatever I could remove here, I will replace with new stuff. That's what I figure I'll do for the moment, until I really learn a little bit better how to work on the car a little bit more efficiently. But right now, I really want to see how far I can take the Delray. So I've removed a lot of the timing belt and all of that sort of stuff. I don't think I could take out the crankshaft. No, I probably will need to take the engine block out for that, or at least get underneath the car for that, and I don't want to do that right now. What I do want to do is replace much of the front part of this engine, whatever that's called. So let's get rid of these clips and then get the distributor cap off. So let's remove the entire distributor. So that leaves us with the engine block. So we'll figure how to fix that later on, but I think we have enough items. Let me just see. Yeah, we got a lot of items, and of course nothing seems to be really red, but I figure we might as well oh, I guess there are a few red things. Okay, so let me fix as many things as possible. Okay, I don't know how many things I really fixed, but now there's a few green things and there's a few more red things because I think I failed in fixing them. But that's okay. Now I have to go buy stuff. Okay, so my thought is that buying stuff is a very tedious event, and it takes a long time, and it's not particularly enjoyable watching. So what I think I'll do is skip ahead and buy all the stuff, and then once I buy the stuff, I'll get back to the video and start recording again. So let me get all my stuff, and then once all the stuff is collected, then we could continue on. Okay, talk to you in a bit. Okay, so once I finish buying this rotor, I think we have everything now. It's a little bit hard to tell because we still have all those old parts, but we have all these new parts later on. So let's take a look. If we have all the parts, then everything should be green when I assemble everything back again. So let's take a look and see. Let's see, let's start with the cam gear. Oh wow, the very first part I tried to put on was still yellow, which means that I have to get that. I hope that that's the only thing I missed, or I'm gonna be going back and forth between this computer and the car. Cam gear, I presume that that's the one. Yeah, V8 OHV, I think that should be it. Okay. So let's try this again. Let's put this into reassemble mode. There we go. Yep, so far, okay. And now we have all these distributor items. Yeah, I mean, this is quite a bit of fun because you do get some feeling like, okay, you're putting this car back together and you can see this fancy car come out. But of course, you know, this is nothing like fixing a car. Because it takes all the skill part out that's necessary to fix a car. You know, this is just, you're just button smashing and putting all these parts in. And to give you a good idea, it's kind of like, okay, you know, if you wanted to sharpen a knife, you don't just press a button and say, knife, sharpen a knife, and then it will be like, oh, knife sharpened. You know, it's the skill of being able to sharpen a knife. And of course, if you do it wrong, you just ruin the whole knife. And so, here, it's kind of like it doesn't involve any of the skills necessary to actually put these parts back together again. And so you could do it from any angle and you're just kind of putting buttons together. But with that said, you know, this isn't supposed to be to learn how to fix a car or to pretend like you can fix a car after you play this game. This is just all about enjoying. And, you know, it's not bad. It's not bad. Yeah, some people might think, why am I spending so much time, my leisure time, doing something that would be work? But, oh, I missed something again. Let's see if I can find that part. Let's see. Is that it? I think that's it. Okay, so yeah, so anyway, I don't know. I mean, why do you play a war game, you know, which is probably in real life one of the most terrible things to experience, you know, and it's out of sheer bravery that a lot of people will defend their country or their people and all that, but it's not out of fun, you know. And so but of course, when you're doing it at the safety of your home, then of course everything seems to be a little bit more enjoyable. So yeah, I think this is the whole point of this, is you know, you get some pseudo feeling like you're fixing a car with all the negativities of fixing a car or frustrations of having to fix a car all removed. And so you get this kind of pseudo elated feeling like you accomplished something. Okay, I guess I need to add the fan belt. Yeah, I know, I'm starting to do my little bit of philosophizing, and I shouldn't be doing that. I should just be sitting around enjoying this game. So let's do that. Let's put on the fan. I forgot what it's called. Radiator fan. Yeah, okay. And let's see if everything is looking okay. Everything looks like it's okay. You know, all I did was either fix the part or replace the part, and that's what this whole restoration, I got a feeling, is all about, is that you're continuously just going to be fixing parts, replacing parts, or adding missing parts or stuff like that, you know. Of course, that's what most games are, right? I mean, you could say like, oh, I did a mission for something like Warframe, but you basically, all you're doing is pressing your left click button and constantly making the guy roll or shoot or whatever, you know. But all you're doing is really clicking. Okay, I am philosophizing again. I should not be doing this. Okay, so that's enough for the engine. I figure we could spend a little bit of time and get rid of these ugly tires and stuff like that. And once again, I'm not gonna be really keeping anything, even if it is usable. I just want to replace it with all new parts. Yeah, I've done this so much with other people's cars in this game that it's relatively routine now to go through this sort of stuff, at least in the game. Wow, now that's a pretty ugly disc brake. It must have been in pretty bad shape. Okay, can I get the bearings? I need to get the bearings. Let me get the bearings. There we go. Yeah, I'm hoping this Delray looks really nice once we're finished. It's a pretty car if you like those retro styles. It reminds me of Karate Kid. You remember when Daniel-san got his... I don't know what car it was, but it was a nice looking car from Mr. Miyagi. That's kind of a gift after he did his wax on, wax off. And so it'll be interesting. It's not the what you might call the fast racing cars or whatever that you might be able to get later on in this game, but for me it's gonna be enjoyable. I want to spend the first car rebuild in this game and see if I can make a really nice looking car, even if I don't have the level up skills yet to be able to do so. Okay, so I'm just taking everything off, you know, all these things, and all the suspension items anyway. Can I take this off? How do I take this off? Maybe I should just take the other tires off as well. Okay. Okay, yeah, so this is going to look nice, as I mentioned before. I'm really looking forward to seeing what this thing looks like, but I got a feeling that it's gonna take several episodes, so I apologize if I'm taking a lot longer than a lot of the other players who can go through this very quickly, but for me, I'm still a new player on this, and I don't know if I'll ever get to the skills that a lot of the other players have in this game, in being able to, like in 30 seconds flat, have their entire car completely rebuilt, repainted, and actually flying around in the test tracks. So yeah, but for me, again, it's gonna be relaxing. So yeah, I apologize if I'm dragging you through this, but I'm hoping that you find this somewhat relaxing as well. Okay, so let me be quiet and keep on going with this. Okay, that's enough of being quiet. Yeah, there's only so much of a limit that I can do. I guess part of the reason I'm making these videos is it gives me the excuse to blab on and on and on and on and on, and hopefully feel like I did something useful, although all I did was really blab on and on and on. Yeah, I guess I got to get rid of these rubber bushings before I could actually remove this last piece. One more. Okay, so one final piece. There we go. Okay, so the front end suspension is completely taken apart, and I will be going through that mindless fixing thing. Here's one of these things that really would actually take a long time if you were doing it in real life, but here I am just button smashing. And it's done. Yes. Okay, so let's keep on doing the usual, which is to buy all these parts. Okay, so I think I'll let you go here, and then what I'll do is actually wait a sec. Yeah, that's right, I forgot. I need to take apart the what do you call it? Not only the shock absorbers, but the wheels as well. So let me do that first. Yeah, it almost seems like you only have to remove the first side of the rim, and then it's supposed to be wow, look at that, something's not good here. Oh yeah, you could tell that the wheel is pretty bad here, so it's a good thing we're taking this apart. Yep, haven't done this for a while. Okay, and take apart the shock absorbers as well. So wow, this is in pretty bad shape, so let's see if we could take this apart. Okay, and one more. Wow, all of these are in pretty bad shape. Well, I guess you can't expect much more because this was sitting in the barn for like forever, and so I guess you kind of expect everything to be in a really bad shape. Okay, so now I can start looking at all the parts, I think. Let me take a look. Yeah. Okay, so there's a lot of parts I'm gonna have to go through. So this is gonna take a while. So I will relieve you of that pain of having to watch me buy all these things. And hopefully we'll get back to putting all this stuff back together again in the car. So see you in a bit. Okay, so I think this is the last item we need to get. And I think we're done. I think we could actually put this back together again. So let me see. There we go. Yeah, it's gonna look nice with all these shiny parts. At least I think it'll look nice. We'll find out. Now you get these really weird angles where you have to kind of try to figure out what you're doing, but there we go. That's better. Yeah, at this point I really don't know what I'm doing, but I'm just kind of filling in the blanks. You kind of see all the outlines of all the things that you have to put together, and you just keep on doing this. But yeah, this thing is looking pretty cool now. It definitely is a big rust bucket, or it started out as a big rust bucket, so I definitely will be interested in seeing how this turns out. Of course, what I'm hoping for is that by the time I'm ready to paint this thing, I do have the paint bay open. Or else we're gonna have to just park the car somewhere and wait until I get to a high enough level to be able to paint this thing. And to be honest, I'm getting pretty anxious to see this thing looking really good. Okay. There we go. It's definitely getting that kind of that unusual look because am I missing something? Oh, I forgot to buy any of the brake parts. Okay, so I guess I'm gonna have to buy all these brake parts, so let me do that, and then I guess I'll get back to you again. Okay, so I think we got all the parts this time. Brakes and suspension and everything. So yeah, let's keep on going with this. The front end is really starting to look really shiny and it's really looking nice. Now, of course, the engine block itself is still a big rust bucket, so we're gonna have to replace that one of these days. But overall, the front end is starting to look pretty good. I think eventually I'm gonna replace the exhaust systems and everything as well, and then we could start working on the body. And we do have a decent amount of funds, so we could get more parts. The problem is I still don't have enough experience to level up to get all the proper grooms that we need. Proper rooms that we need in the garage to be able to service this car. Again, namely the paint bay and the welding capabilities. And eventually I'm gonna have to start working on the body. And I think even if you actually can purchase all the parts instead of fixing them, you still have to paint them. So wow, that's starting to look really nice. Did you see that wheel? It was just shiny. This is gonna be a really nice looking car. I wonder what happens if you buy a different wheel. Can you actually put it on? I presume you can't. So you don't really have a choice of which wheel that you can buy. I presume the only thing you can do is to buy a brand new version of the exact same wheel that it came with. But it would be cool if you had a choice of different wheels and you could start stylizing your car so that not everybody has the exact same kind of looking car. And that would be like really cool. So I know there's like mods available for this, and I know a lot of them are like different cars, but it would be really cool if they have mods where you could get different parts for different cars. Maybe you can, and I just don't know about them. But that would be really cool if you can start taking even an individual car like an old Jaguar or something like that and start putting different wheels on depending upon what you want, or you know, different body parts if you have and want to, and things like that. It would be really cool also if you can get like modified body parts for some of the cars, you know, things that are available actually in the real market, and it's also available in this market. Of course, you know, in my case, you know, this is like my first car that I'm restoring, so even this will be really nice. But yeah, I mean, it's kind of like the you know, the modding community for Warframe, where you could actually get all these different looking frames. And eventually, I think like in that game, there's so much variety now that people actually can feel like they have identity there instead of looking like everybody else, you know. And so I know this isn't really a massively multiplayer game, but it would be really nice to see what everybody can make based upon all the different things that you can buy. Okay, so the wheels are in. Let's take a look at this whole setup. Yeah, this is looking really nice. You know, I'm not particularly a fan of this yellow color, but overall, the front wheels are looking really good. Okay, so yeah, look at that. Look at that. This is starting to look really nice. Okay, anyway, I think that's about it for this video. We got all these parts, and I'll sell this all this junk things later. But yeah, thank you very much for watching this video. We'll continue on with Car Mechanic Simulator 2018 Chevy Delray restoration in the future, and I hope you join us at that time. And hopefully, you know, I'll keep on getting better at this, and we could do this a lot faster. But overall, I'm really looking forward to seeing how this Delray turns out. So thank you very much. If you have any comments, please post them in the comments section below, and I hope you join us in the future videos. And until the next video, wow, this is looking really nice. Yeah, anyway, until the next video, we wish you all the best. Happy gaming, happy machining, and as always, Jaya, nice day, everyone.